So once you have your phonotropes have been drawn out and and I've checked it and it looks great, and I have said please go ahead and start coloring it. This is how you're going to color it. I'm just going to give you a quick demo of how the coloring needs to be done. So what you can do is you can use sketch pens. So here I'm using sketch pens, but you could also use color pencils or crayons or whatever colors you have at home. So I'm going to take sketch pens because the colors look brighter and they look better. So I'm going to just color everything in. So you can see I'm coloring the box. All the boxes have to be the same color. Here I'm going to color the boxes in. All of them are going to be the same color. So I'm just going to quickly, very roughly just color it in. Ensure it doesn't go, colors don't go out of the line, and you cannot change the color. So if a box, if you've decided to keep it blue, you keep it blue throughout. You can't midway decide to make it pink or yellow or orange. So everywhere the box is going to be the same color. I'm just going to color it in. You have to keep the same color in. It's okay if you don't color it too well. Just ensure that the lines don't go out, color doesn't go out, and you color it in. If you've drawn in pencil, then you may need to outline the drawings as well with a black sketch pen. So if you've just done a drawing in pencil, which you have, then you can finish it, clean it up with a lovely outline with a nice sketch pen, a black sketch pen, so it looks neat. You can take even fine tip sketch pens if you'll have fine tip sketch pens, so it looks nice and fine, the lines look fine and neat. Or you can take an ordinary sketch pen like the one I have used, and you have to just make the outline and color it all inside with the same color. So you're using the box, you're putting the same color in the box, right? So everywhere you will have the same color in, and it looks gorgeous once it's done. So you have the boxes all done. In the phonotrope that I showed you in the previous session, you can see the boy has the same blue shirt. The jumpsuit that he's wearing is the same color. The ball is red. It stays the same color everywhere, as you can see, right? And these spirals, so the triangle stays orange everywhere, even as it goes up. The spiral over here that you see, the green spiral, is also going up and it stays the same color. There's a red dot which goes up and it stays the same color. So it's not confusing to the eye. If you keep changing the color, it's going to get confusing to watch. So maintain the same color. So there's a little rectangle here. The rectangle stays pink everywhere, if you can see. So it stays the same color everywhere. So just like that, for this box, I'm going to take the color, probably I'm going to take an orange to color it in. So you can see I'm going to color the box here. I'm going to fill it up with orange. It already has a black outline because I sketched with a sketch pen, but you may have drawn with a pencil. So please outline it so that when you shoot it, we can see it clearly when it's moving. Else it will not be seen. If it's just in pencil, it may not be seen. So please outline it. And I'm going to take a pink probably, and I'm going to fill up the dot with a pink. You have made it with a pencil, so ensure you fill it up with a pink. Probably you can put a black outline as well. I'm not putting an outline because I already have a black filled in with a sketch pen. So I'm just going to put a pink over here. Just going to color it up with pink. So I have my ball, and my face, the face that I have, Jack in the Box, the Jack. I may want to color it with yellow and make it look nice and bright and sunny. See? So when you add colors, it automatically looks brighter and happier. And you just kind of color it everywhere. Don't miss out any frame. Ensure that you have colored it on every frame. So all your 16 frames need to be colored and it looks beautiful. You can erase these out, the numbers. You do not need the numbers and you do not need the lines. Now I won't be able to erase it because I made it with a black pen, but you will need to erase it out. Keep the center point, erase these lines. We don't need them anymore. You may want to add more color and more spiral to the spiral. So there's a little gap here. So let me just fill it up with something. So I'm just going to do something freehand. I'm just going to do some kind of a design, just very random. It's a very random doodle, and you could do that too. You can just go straight ahead with a sketch pen, but I wouldn't advise, because if you make a mistake, then you will not be able to erase it out. But the spiral is very easy. So if you feel confident to do it, please go ahead and do it. There's no problem and there's nothing right or wrong, and it's going to work no matter what you do. It's going to look beautiful. So I still have a little space here. I'm going to do something else. Let me see what I could do. I'll take a purple and I'll do probably a triangle. I'll just put a triangle everywhere. So I have different shapes and it's slowly, gradually going up. And it's going up, and it's going up, and it's going up, it's going up, and it's going up, and it's going up, and it's gone through this, and there's very little here. Okay, so now I have that. Let me take a light blue maybe. I don't have enough colors here for some reason. So probably I can make would you like a star? Maybe I'll put a star here. And I'll fill up that star. A nice, beautiful looking star. And I'll just let it go up and up and up and up. So I'm just going directly with a sketch pen, and if you're confident of doing that, please go ahead. But if you make mistakes, there's no way to erase it out. So then you may have to do the entire phonotrope again. So please be careful if you're just going straight up. So you can see this, it looks gorgeous. Now we're going to shoot it. So once we're done with coloring, the next step is shooting the phonotrope and seeing if it works. Hi everybody. So I'm sure you all have finished your coloring your phonotrope, and it's now time to test if it works. Okay, I hope you all have erased the lines. We don't need these lines, and I hope you all have erased the numbers, and you can just see your animation here, right? So it is very clear that this is what you have to see, right? So now, now that you have that, let's create the setup for our camera. So we're going to set up the camera stand. Now you may have a lot of books lying at home. So we have some books. Let me show you what we have. We have these fat, bulky books, and I'm sure all of you have these kind of bulky books lying around at home. So you can use these books to create a camera stand. If you don't have enough books, you could even use shoe boxes or any kind of boxes to create a camera stand. So once you have all of this together, look for spatulas like this in the house. I'm sure you have some in the kitchen. So check. So there are 3 types that I have. You can use any one, but ensure that this is not too thick. So try and use a flat one, the flattest one that you see around, and take a flat spoon like that. And what you're going to do is, you're going to stick this to the books. I'm going to stick it here, and I'm just going to show you how that's to be done. Now we're creating this camera stand to shoot the phonotrope that we have created. So you take a sellotape and cut it out. So you stick the spoon, ensure you have more of it towards the outside, because we don't want the shadows of the books to fall on our work. So we have to be very careful that the shadows don't fall. Now this is still, oops, falling down, but that's okay. We'll need 2 of these, or probably 3 sellotapes to fix it up and hold it there. So you will need 1, 2, and yeah. So now it's steadier, but still not steady enough. So we have these extra books that we place here. Now it will move and it's steady, right? You may want to put a few more pieces of sellotape to ensure it's holding on strong and it doesn't fall in the middle of your shoot. So you have to ensure it doesn't topple, the entire thing shouldn't fall. So, and it has to, this camera, your spatula will be holding your camera, your phone camera. Now here I have a phone camera, okay. So I'm going to turn it on, and I have my app installed in this. So we have Stop Motion Studio installed in the phone, and I'm going to place this here, and I'm just going to ensure it doesn't fall. So there, we need to balance it out a little bit to ensure it's steady, okay. And you can use a double-sided tape to fix it in place. So your double-sided tape will hold your phone in place. That's where it's going to go. So now it is steady. You may want to add a few books. You could do that, and setup is ready. Now you're going to keep your phonotrope below this, and you're going to shoot frame by frame. So we have everything ready. If you can see, I have even adjusted the height of my camera stand so that I can see my phonotrope entirely in the camera over here. It has to be, you should be able to see almost all of the phonotrope, okay. Also, another thing that you have to keep in mind is that no shadows falling on your image. If there is a shadow falling on the image, switch off a few lights and adjust the lighting of your house so that the shadow of the phone doesn't fall on your artwork. So you'll have to just keep that in mind. Turn some lights off, make some adjustments. If you have a lamp at home, place the lamp here and let the light fall on your phonotrope so that it kind of blocks out all the shadows and only the light falls on your artwork, because it has to be well lit. So if you have that at home, that's an additional advantage, but you have to ensure that the shadow of your phonotrope should not fall on, or the phone, the shadow of the phone should not fall on the phonotrope. A lot of times when you're taking pictures, if you put your hand in some odd places, it may come in the camera and may come while you're shooting. So you have to ensure that you keep your hands away while you're taking pictures. No shadow of any kind, even your own hand, the shadow of your own hand should not fall on your artwork. So these are things you have to be very careful when you're shooting. Now I do not want my phonotrope to move from the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix it up. So I want it to rotate, but while rotating I don't want it to move all over the place. I want it to stay fixed while it moves. So it has to move from this center point, and it has to move very carefully because it's going to rotate, right? So I'm going to fix up the center of my phonotrope so that I don't have any problems. So I'm going to take a small piece of a sellotape and I'm going to fold it up, make it double-sided so that it fixes. I'm going to fold it like this into small thing, and I'm going to fix it on the center. So I can hold this up here and I can get it exactly at the center point, and I can place so now my phonotrope is not going to move unless I move it. So it's going to work only if I do it. So I'm going to turn it now to frame number 1. Okay. Now because I have a marking here, I know this is frame number 1, but you may not have the marking. So what you can do is exactly over this drawing you can make a marking on the table, and you know that your frame number 1, and this is where you have to stop every time, right? So I made a marking on the table so I know exactly where I have to. So now I'm going to start taking pictures. So you all have seen the demonstration of how to use the app. So I'm just going to take 2 pictures for every frame I shoot. You could even take 3 to be on the safer side, right? So especially the ones who are doing 8 frames, a phonotrope with 8 frames, you will have to click 3 times. If you're doing a phonotrope with 16 frames, you can shoot 2 times or 3 times. It's entirely up to you, right? But the ones who have done 8 frames, you have to take every frame 3 times. So 8 3s are 24, and there are 24 frames in a second, as we discussed in the first session, right? Now I start taking pictures. So I take 1, 2, 3, because I want to be on the safe side. Then I rotate it again. I hold my finger on the center because I don't want it to move, and you see my drawing and this line is aligned, right? And I hold it there and I go 1, 2, 3. Notice how I step back because I don't want my shadow to fall on my artwork, and I keep my hand behind. So nothing comes in the way in my frame. Everything is clear. Then I hold the center again and I move it, and I go exactly over frame 3. I won't have this frame 3 written here, but I'll have my drawing, so I'll know exactly where I have to place it, right? Because I've erased this and I've erased all my lines, so you know exactly where to place it. So your drawing is here and your line is here, and you go 1, 2, 3, right? Then you turn it around and you have 4. Frame number 4, and you have my line, the drawing. You won't have this number, but you have to position it exactly where the line is, at the center, and you go 1, 2, 3. Again you hold it and you turn it around and keep it in the right position and go 1, 2, 3, right? And turn it around here and go 1, 2, 3, and you turn it around here and you go 1, 2, 3, and you turn it around again, and you go 1, 2, 3, and you turn it around. So we have reached frame number 9, which is the opposite of frame number 1, and you go 1, 2, 3, and again you turn it around, and you go 1, 2, 3, turn, 1, 2, 3. Let's say you make a mistake and you're worried, oh, I've made a mistake. Don't worry, just go on to the same frame. If you made a mistake in the same frame, if your hand is in the middle, just shoot all over. We can delete the wrong frame. So don't worry about anything. Nothing will go wrong. Just be comfortable, have fun. That's important, right? And you go 1, 2, 3. So wrong frames can be easily deleted. So you don't have to worry if you made a mistake, if your phonotrope has moved. Fix it back in place again, ensure it's exactly in the same spot again, and go 1, 2, 3. And you already reached frame number 14 and it's less than 5 minutes. So it's that quick to shoot your film. And go 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. And this is the last frame. So we got 1, 2, 3. So this is just not enough. There's more we can do, a lot more. So if you adjust the settings on your camera, you can even zoom in to your phonotrope and take another angle. So you can even do that, and you can move it and position it where it fits here. Great, you can just take that, see the angle. So it fits, it's in frame, there are no shadows, and it looks beautiful. It's composed well, so you can even do this. So this is a composition that also you can take. Again, you mark with your pencil where your frame number 1 is. And you shoot this composition as well. So again, you have made your marking, ensure it's nice. It's not coming in frame, so you can make it dark, you can make it with a sketch pen, but it's better to use a pencil so you can erase it later and mom won't scold you for dirtying the table, for spoiling the table. Yeah, so that's frame number 1. I go 1, 2, 3. And then I turn it around again, move back and go 1, 2, 3. And it takes less than 5 minutes, so do both the compositions, it'll look better. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're going to check how it looks. So my animation may have numbers, but the ones you have will not have the numbers written because you are going to erase it. I have done it in sketch pens, and you will not have these lines in your animation. So now we're doing frame number 5. Ensure not to miss out on any frame. 1, 2, 3. All the frames you have to shoot. One, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. And the last frame. You're almost done. Okay. Now do you want to see how it looks? So you can see that I'm here. You can see some part of the books in the frame. So all that can be cropped out later in the final. So you can see that I'm there and the books are there in the frame. So if you have that coming in your frame and you have the books in the frame, don't worry, those areas can be cropped out. But this is how it's looking. You can see the Jack is coming out of the box and it's looking pretty cool. And you can see how he is jumping out of the box. So when we transfer this onto the computer, it's going to look even better. And in the final edit, it's going to look gorgeous. And you can see how the spiral is working.